This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again with a new episode. I like to get something off my chest. I want to talk about how some men go around saying that a woman needs to be humbled. Again, I want to talk about when men go around saying, when some men go around saying that women need to be humble or that you need to humble a woman. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple situations I have seen and heard where a guy has tried to humble a woman. One example is it was a guy. He's like, yes, he's average. He's not ugly. He's like average looking. He's a business owner. And I remember him saying that he dated a really beautiful woman. She's very pretty. And he said that he knew that she probably was used to so many men giving her compliments and telling her how beautiful she is. So he said he purposely, listen to this, ladies, he purposely did not give her compliments on her beauty. He said he never gave her a compliment. And he said in turn, because of that, she was always wanting his validation. And she could never get it. And so I guess in that way he flipped the script on her, and she was kind of like surprised, like, oh my God, he never tells me that I'm pretty. And he said he was doing it purposely because she was so beautiful. He purposely did not do it. And so it had her kind of, she fell for it, because that's the games they play. You know, that's one of the mind games some of these men play, where they try to do reverse psychology on you. So they might know that, oh, she's used to getting a lot of compliments. So if I don't give her a compliment, I will stand out, and she'll, feel like she can't impress me, and all these mind games. And some women fall for it. I'm not saying all women do, but some women do fall for that, because they're not knowing it's a game. They just thinking like, oh, he's not giving me any compliments. That's weird, but he came up to me. He's taking me on dates and everything, but he never tells me I'm pretty. Honey, he's doing it purposely. But as a woman goes through life and she experienced dating different men and just experienced men in general, she would learn some of their little tricks. And if she has a male friend, she would learn even more. Okay, so that's one thing that they would do to try to humble you, is to purposely not give you compliments. Now you might say, what's the big deal about that? See, a lot of men know that a significant amount of women want to feel adored by the guy that's pursuing them. They want to feel beautiful, and unfortunately they can't get validation from that. Validation is supposed to come from within. However, as a woman, being adored is a great feeling. Some women really crave that, to be adored by a guy that's pursuing them, for him to tell her that she's beautiful, for him to treat her special. Women like that. I'm not saying all women do, but a lot of women do. And just like a lot of men would love for a woman to just hound him for sex all the time, non-stop, just giving it to him five times a day. I'm pretty sure most men are like that. Okay, so women, there's a significant amount of women who want to be adored, just want to be treated with respect and love, and want the guy to just think the world of her and treat her as such. So, and one of the ways sometimes men can do that is tell her that she's beautiful and bring her flowers, or just make her feel special. So when men find this out, ladies, they attack that, as we know, and they play mind games. And so one of the mind games, like I just previously said, was to not give you compliments when he knows you're beautiful, but he has figured, oh, she's used to hearing it, so I'm gonna purposely not do it. So basically, when they try to humble you, it's to break down your self-esteem. Now you might ask yourself, okay, what is the purpose of this? Now I've heard a couple men explain this, but most of them say, oh, women need to be humbled, because we need to bring our standards down, and we think that we're all that because we have had multiple men chase us and tell us how beautiful we are. So they're trying to flip the script and so-called make you and I understand that we're not all that. See, so then you have to still ask yourself, but once again, even if we did think we were all that, because we were always getting compliments and told that we were beautiful, how does that affect them? Did you ever ask yourself, but why do they care? Why would that offend them, that they are pursuing a woman that thinks highly of herself? Why would that have them feeling so insecure that they would need to quote unquote humble you by trying to break you, by insulting your appearance. I'm gonna get into some other ways they do it, but by doing things that they know will make you feel emotionally possibly unstable and unhappy and maybe feel low about yourself. Why would they take so much effort into doing that? Why is you thinking that you're beautiful a threat to them? See, it's a threat because if you have high self-esteem and you think that you're beautiful, your standards are going to be higher. You're not going to just accept any mediocrity that they're trying to bring to the table. And see, the men who are hell bent on breaking you and trying to quote unquote humble you, and humbling a woman just means breaking her spirit. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to break you down and make you feel, they basically try to break down your self-esteem. That's all. So humbling somebody or humbling a woman is breaking down her self-esteem. That's all they're doing. They call it humbling to make it sound not as bad, but really it's called, I need to break her self-esteem down. I need to break her. And you might say, but why are they hell bent on that? Because they're going after women that are better than them. They're going after women that are out of their league. And so in order to get her in order to get her to want to be all over them, to give them the sex that they see, look, all this goes back to sex, everybody. With men, it always goes back to sex and their ego. Okay, so with them, their main objective when chasing a woman, which is what they do, is to get sex out of her. That's the main objective. Okay, so the thing about it is, if she's a beautiful woman and she knows she's beautiful and she has options, okay, he's going to have to, take her on dates, get to know her and do all that. And he don't want to do all that. And he's tired of trying to impress her. He wants to break her down to where she's feeling insecure and she's not on her. I actually heard a guy say, knock her off her high horse. So they want to knock us, we're women, okay, knock us off our high horse, because if we have high self-esteem, then we won't accept their, excuse my language, bull crap. I was gonna curse when I'm saying bull crap. I know that sounds so lame, right? But anyway, I don't like using a lot of profanity. But anyway, so they know that if they knock you off your quote unquote high horse, right, that you are feeling low about yourself. So then that's when they can play the mind game. Well, they already started playing the mind games by humbling you, which equals really trying to break down your self-esteem. So once they have your self-esteem broken down, you will be on their level. Now you might say, okay, why they just won't go out the women that are on their level? I don't know why. We would have to ask them why. I don't know why they go out the women who look clearly a lot better than them. I don't know why they go out the beautiful women when they like a frog. I know, or a toad, whatever they, a wildebeest. I don't know why they do it, but for some reason they love going. For some reason they love going out the women that are out of their league. The women just look better than them, and they just, they feel they're entitled to beautiful women when they don't look attractive and don't have any money to. I mean, they're not even trying to compensate for how they look with having some cash, with being well off. So I don't get it. They want something for nothing, I guess. They want to come to a woman not wanting to provide, not having the money to provide, on top of looking the way they look, but they want a runway model. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you notice that I'm not saying men don't try to break down a woman's self-esteem if she's, if he considers her not as attractive, but they definitely try to do this to pretty women. They definitely do, because they figure that she knows she's beautiful, maybe the way she carries herself, and they just assume that men have been so-called sweating her. So then you might say, okay, they want to bring the woman down to their level. But why do they have to do it in that way? Or why do they feel they have to quote unquote bring down her self-esteem to their level and do all that? It's because they know in their heart they don't deserve that woman. That woman is out of their league. And so they have figured out that in order to get her to do what they want her to do, which is to be, sprung off of them and give them the vagina, they have to get into her head, play mind games, mess with her emotionally, and make her feel like he's a catch. So and so it's like this. She's actually the catch in that situation, but he has to make her feel like she's not the catch and that actually he's the catch. So he's flipping it on her. You follow me? So if he humbles her, then she will feel lower than him, and then he can walk off on his high horse. So with men like this, they are insecure. They're going at the women who they don't deserve. and they actually feel small up against these beautiful women or women who got it going on. Because they're actually, see, those men, a lot of people in life treat people a certain kind of way because it's deflection. They feel bad about themselves, so they push it off onto the other person. So that dude, when he's around that kind of woman, he doesn't feel as valuable. He knows he doesn't deserve her. She's too good for him, but he still wants her because she's pretty. So, and he wants to get laid by her. So in his mind, instead of him rising to her level, being better in some kind of way, having a better conversation, trying to make more money, fixing himself up more, adoring her, which is what she likes, bringing her flowers, telling her she's beautiful, giving her what she wants so he can get what he wants. No, he don't want to do that. He wants to stay where he's at his low level, and go out of his league. But instead of rising himself up to her level, he wants to bring her down to his level. So these men are very much insecure, and they feel they want something they know they don't deserve. So this what makes them turn into a very bad person, because that's what it is. And I'm gonna tell you some things they do, and I think some ladies have, well, not some, I think a lot of women have experienced these kind of men. Some things they do, like I said, they will, if they find you to be very pretty, they will say, they will never give you a compliment ever, but they're doing it purposely. It's not like they forget, they're purposely not doing it. So you can come over to his house looking drop dead gorgeous, where you like, okay, he hasn't told me I'm pretty, okay, maybe I'm gonna fix up even more. And he looks at you and like don't say anything. He's doing it purposely. Okay, so that's one way to get into your head. Another thing, I heard some guys say, pumping and dumping, where they will have sex with you. And they could have dated you, meaning took you on dates and talked to you for a while, then had the sex, and still do what I'm about to say. Basically, pumping and dumping. So pumping and dumping, the way I'm going to say it, does not necessarily mean like it was a one night stand. It could have meant, he came up to you, he talked to you for a period of time, you guys went on dates, and then you guys finally had sex, and then he doesn't call you. That's nothing that they do. Basically, these dudes who, like I said, want to humble a woman, bring her down a size, knock her off her high horse, is to get the sex and not call her again. And that's because, and the dude on YouTube said this, it's because when a woman gives you her body, she looks at that as very precious and very valuable. So he said you've taken something of the utmost value from her, or she felt she gave you something very special. So for you to get it and not call her next day, that's going to destroy her. So here, ladies, these men some of these men, the ones I'm talking about that mentioned this, these women need to be humble. They want to break you. They want you to feel like crap about yourself, because that's how they feel about themselves. Because see, they're mad and hurt that they've been hurt by women. They haven't been able to have sex with all the attractive women they want to have sex with. And that's what this all boils down to. See, they found out that either they weren't handsome enough to get those women, or they didn't have the money to get those women, or the personality, or not, or if they had the looks, the personality, and the money, they would not be on YouTube talking about how to humble women, or they would not be in person talking about how women need to be humble. See, they wouldn't be doing all that, because they wouldn't have no complaints about women. Look, everybody's been hurt, men and women. Okay, we all have been played at least once where somebody did something wrong to us. But that doesn't, I'm going to take that back. At least once. However, it's up to you as an individual to take that and learn from it and say, okay, it's some bad people out here, but I'm not going to let that shape my whole view of the opposite gender. Or you can take that and be bitter and try to break the opposite gender down. You can do whatever you want to do with it. But, some of these men act like women don't get hurt. Women get hurt damn near more than men. Because women, a lot of women are more emotional than men. And so I've heard men say that, because I'm not going to get into all that. I want to get off topic. Anyway, I might talk about that at the end of the video, but let me stay on topic, because y'all know I jump around. But yeah, one of the ways, like I said, is pumping and dumping, because he wants to knock you off your high horse, because he felt like he took something precious from you. So if he sleeps with you and do not call you the next day, he knows that's going to make you feel insecure. It might not make you feel insecure, but for some women, they might say, oh my God, he hasn't called me. We had sex yesterday. What happened? Other things like they would do, oh, this one guy said some things they would do is, and this guy's on YouTube, he said compliment another woman in front of, well, like if you all are watching TV, he says he would say, oh, look how beautiful this girl is, and he would say that in front of you while you all are watching TV to let you know, he said, that you're not all that. And I don't even want to get into the other things he said. Actually, Deborah Cooper, she did a video about this dude like almost a year ago, but I didn't want to make this whole video about what he said, but I know that from personal experience that different things dudes do. Let me tell you nothing they do from personal experience. So what they do is they'll take a woman they find that's pretty, and they like how you look because they chase you, right? But they'll pick one thing about you and like say you need to improve that. So you follow what I'm saying? So for example, they would do, and let's say that doesn't even need to be improved. Let's say it's something that cannot be changed. Like let's say your complexion. Can't change your complexion, but he might say, oh, you're too light, or oh, you're too dark. You see? And that's something, your complexion, you cannot change. So he might pick that. But he might say, oh, you need to, you're too light or you're too dark. And then say, but other than that, you're beautiful. See, now what he has done is he's planted something in your head. See, it's all about planting negativity. See, a person, that's how they play mind games. They drop little negative gems on you. They don't do it all at once. So if he plants that, it's going to plant an insecurity in your head, like, oh, I thought I was the total package, but now you just said I was too light or that I'm too dark. So now I'm insecure about my complexion now. You see, all the while he thinks that you're beautiful. But he has targeted one thing on you. And why I say, you might say, well, maybe he doesn't like that particular thing about you. He could not. But ask yourself, why is he pursuing a woman that he's not completely content with? Why is he even bothering? So he's pursuing a woman that he's not 100% content with, but he's going to pick her apart to humble her. You see, and this is a sick, I don't want to go there. Anyway, I was going to say something really messed up, but now that's one thing they would do. And like I said, it could not even be complexion. It could just be the way you wear your hair. It can be, he might say your breasts are too small, or he might say your breasts are too big. He might say your butt is too flat, or he might say your butt is too big, or he might say you need to lose weight or gain weight. Yeah, when he what I'm trying to say is, like, he will pick something on you that you were like that when he met you, like when he walked up to you and pursued you and showed you off to his friends. And mind you, this is usually happens when they're trying to humble you. They will think you're beautiful because, like, they will show you off to their friends and their family and how you're on their arm, and they want to be seen with you and want to be like, yeah, you can tell they're impressed by how you look. But then they're impressed, but yet they find something on you to complain about. And that's the plan of insecurity, to bring you down a size, to humble you. Okay? And like I said, it could be you're talking about your breast size, your butt size. It could be anything, your size of your lips. It could be the way you wear your hair. They're going to pick one thing. They're going to pick a lot of things on you because they do think that you're beautiful. They're just going to pick one thing and then have you insecure about that. So once you're insecure about that one thing, you don't feel like the total package anymore. And so then now they're placing themselves now above you. When you all supposed to be equal, like, you all supposed to give each other respect and be there for each other and think highly of one another. But see, with some of these men's ego, they want to be above the woman in their mind. They want her to be their subordinate. They want to feel like the strong one and she be the weak one. So they want to place themselves above her in a sense. So if she feels like she's lucky to have him because of her self-esteem, he likes that. But instead of him getting a woman that he looks a lot better than, who will really feel that way about him, he wants to get a drop dead gorgeous woman and then break her self-esteem down to feel like she's beneath him, or that she's lucky to have him. And that way he gets this really beautiful woman that's insecure and all over him. I said, okay then. And you might say, how do I know this? I've had men tell me that's what dudes do. I've talked to them about certain things, and look, y'all, they have said it. Oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, he was trying to break her self-esteem down to make her want him. Now, this goes into also when men say that, you know, they say black women's taste in men, they said black women's standards is too high and too low. Notice this, right? These would be the same men that also would say, oh, a woman need to be humbled. And when you ask them about how, you know, why she needs to be humbled, it always goes back to her choice in men too. And usually the woman that they're trying to humble, he's usually not her type. And he knows that. So he has to, in his mind, humble her. So you notice these same men that talk about humbling a woman, these will be the same men that will say, oh, your standards are too high and they're too low. You know why these guys are saying this? Because the men that they feel are being picked over them, that they feel, it's in their head though, the men that they feel that are being picked over them, they are not in the same category with those dudes. Those men don't represent them. So they can't, so when they say your standards are too high, the men that they feel are on the higher level, they're not in the same category as them. They might not have the looks or the income as those guys. The men who they say are that are on the lower spectrum, the thugs, bombs, Cardis, and dope boys, whatever, they're not those dudes either. They're not out here, you know, being thrown in jail. They're not selling drugs. They're not a thug. Okay, so in their mind though, the women are the black women, as they say, are picking only the exceptional men. Oh my, what a joke. And then they're picking the thugs, bombs, and car thieves, right? And the men that are complaining, ladies, I'm gonna tell you the men that are in the middle. It's the so-called average men. These are the men that you're gonna see running running their mouth on YouTube, or not even, these are gonna be the men in the comment section. See, these are the ones that are upset. Because it's almost like they're saying, why are you picking them up there and picking them down there? Pick me in the middle. Hey, you don't see me. Hello, I'm right here and right here. Pick me. And so they feel, which is in their head, that they're not getting picked. So they need to humble these women to want them. Instead of them just going after women that's on their level, they can't do that because they feel they deserve a beautiful woman, see? So they got to say, I got to humble her because I'm insecure and I know she's too good for me. And I know to get with her, I have to adore her and treat her with respect. And I don't want to do all that. I just want the vagina and I want her to be insecure and chasing me. So I'm finna break her self-esteem down. I'm going to try to hit it and quit it. Or I'm just going to sleep with her rather and not call her next day and have her insecure. I'm going to make comments that other women are beautiful while we're watching TV. So if there's a beautiful woman on TV, I'm going to say, oh, she's a hottie in front of her to make her insecure. I think that one of the dudes even said that he would try to compliment one of her female friends and say, oh, your female friend is pretty, or something stupid like that. Something to really make her upset and to make her just feel very low. I'm going to pick out something on her physically to make her feel insecure about, to have her obsessed about. See, this is the stuff they do. It's mind games to bring you down to their level. And so when they keep complaining about your standards are too high and too low, they're only saying that because they're not the men that's being picked in those categories. They're not in either category. They consider themselves in the middle. Average looks and average income. So that's why they're running their mouth. Let's talk about this though real quickly about the average, so-called average man. Most people, male and female, when you go out, look average, meaning they're not exceptionally beautiful, but they're not butt ugly either. They're average. Like if most people was to fix up, they'll look nice. But if most people was to just walk outside without fixing up, they would look average. Okay. And so if most people that you see out and about look about average, and it's a lot of them, that means most average men are getting play. They're getting laid. And that's all men care about, is about getting laid, by the way. They don't care about marriage and kids. They only care about getting laid. They're getting girlfriends. They're getting laid, which is all they care about. Okay. The men who are on here talking about women don't want me, it's because something's wrong with you. Don't try to put that on all the other men with average income and average looks when they are procreating with other average looking women, having average looking kids, which is the majority of the people on the planet. Why? Okay. So when men always say that women want, a guy, I actually had a friend of mine have the nerve to try to confront me and say that women, we only want tall men who are 6'4" and muscular. That's like me saying that he only want a woman that like, and that's like me saying that men only want a woman that like Buffy the Body or something, or Amber Rose. I mean, first of all, men who are 6'4", muscular, with a lot of money, that's sort of money in there, they're like kind of how some of the basketball players are the exception. Do you women see men who are 6'4" and muscular just walking around every day that are millionaires? No, they are rare. That's why they have a lot of women wanting them. It's rare. Okay? It's rare. Just like a woman with a really, really small waist and with a naturally big, wide hips and butt, a washboard flat stomach, no love handles, and then just a really huge butt and really wide hips. If that kind of woman, and let's say she was born like that without any surgery, that would be rare, right? So, and some people might say, well, I have a big butt. Not me, but they might say, oh, well, I do kind of got one. But I'm just saying, people might say, I'm talking about you all. You might say, well, I have a big butt and a small waist. I'm talking about how the women's body look after surgery, where they have no love handles, a washboard flat stomach, like flat as a wall, and like literally wide protruding hips and a huge butt. The body almost that Nicki Minaj, see, like Black China has now. Basically, the bodies, how the women bodies look that had to get surgery. And I'm saying a woman, imagine a woman being born like that. Imagine 90% of women being born like that. That wouldn't be rare. Men that like it, I'm pretty sure, but that wouldn't be rare. So a guy who's 6'4", 6'5", muscular and that's a millionaire, of course a lot of women are going to want him. Just like men are going to want a woman who's really beautiful, okay? But the majority of people are not in either one of those categories. They're not exceptionally beautiful, nor are they filthy rich, okay? So he was trying to make excuses for him because he's not getting what he wants, when we have told him what he needs to do to improve himself, but he don't want to listen, okay? So it's all the men in the middle getting upset because they feel the thugs, bombs, and car thieves are getting the women, which the women that those dudes is getting, those women just as trashy as those dudes. I'm sorry, those women are working on a low vibration that wants those kind of men, and the women who want the dude, as y'all saying, the top 10%, well, who wouldn't want them? I'm pretty sure you want the women that's in the top 10%. So you complain about women wanting to do the top 10%. Hello, why would they not? That's the top 10% of the best, right? Who would not want the best of the best? Now, I know men complain, well, those women don't deserve the best of the best, and that's fine. They probably don't, and that's why the best of the best men pick the women who do deserve to be with them. I mean, we all know how this works. When you're dealing with, it's just like with an attractive woman, she get a bunch of men that approach her, but a lot of them could be unattractive. Does that mean she's ugly? Does that mean she's going to pick them? No, they're going to still want her. So when you're attractive and you're a catch, you're going to have a lot of people wanting you, and that batch of people are going to be attractive people, unattractive people, hit people. You know, it's going to be, you're going to have a lot of people that want you and that's attracted to you, but all those people are not necessarily going to be attractive themselves. And just like the top 10% of men, they are desirable to a lot of women. A lot of women find them desirable, but that does not mean those men are going to pick those women. Those men have the option of picking the best of the best women. Okay, so these dudes, they in the middle and they upset, but yet I see average men every day in real life. They have girlfriends. And when average meaning average looks and average money, they have girlfriends that have had sex, did all that. It's just that these men that's complaining on YouTube, some ain't right with them. Some ain't right. It could be, I think a lot has to do with their personality. I'll be honest with you, because there's a lot of, if as far as their money, it's a lot of broke men out here. Broke as hell. That's getting play. That the woman, she likes how he looks and he treats her cool and she's willing to build with him. Okay, so I don't, most women, a lot of women out here are working and working with a brother and all that. So these dudes that's complaining, like I said, they're probably socially awkward and something's not right with them, or they going after women that look way better than them. So what they want to do is they want to humble the woman. They got to bring her down a size, okay, because he's insecure. He knows that she's out of his league and he doesn't deserve her.